Hello citizens and welcome back. This is our match reaction from Man City 1, Man United 1 in the FA Community Shield. Of course, City win. Was it 6-5 on penalties, 7-6, something like that, who cares? We win on penalties. So yeah, make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Let's jump into it. So, first up, it's the Community Shield. I said in the match preview, I don't care. I still don't care about it. It's a glorified friendly for me. The competition means absolutely nothing. It was a chance for us to put players on the pitch and get some of the match fit. You know, we saw Diaz come in, Akanji as well. It's important for them to get minutes ahead of the league starting next weekend against Chelsea. Then, of course, Edison as well in goal. Then you had Guardiola on the left, Lewis on the right. O'Reilly started in defensive midfield because, of course, no Rodri in the squad. Then you had McAtee in there. Doku on the left, very important for him to get minutes as well. Bob on the right, good chance to see him after the friendlies. And Haaland up front. And look, I think how the game started off in the first half, I think we took possession quite early on. We were quite slow with it. We weren't really creating anything. The way we set up and the way they set up, they sat quite narrow. They weren't really concerned about pressing us. And they let us get into their half, get the ball out wide, and then they stopped us from getting the crosses in or, stopped us from getting into their box. That's what they tried to do. And, of course, we got in there a couple of times with Doku on the left against Dalot, who did okay against Dalot. I don't think he did great, but he did okay. He had a couple of moments where he'd get into the box, and then there was another moment where he got past Dalot and Maguire, had a chance to cross in, and Bob on the right-hand side as well. I don't think he got past Martinez nearly enough as he should have done. But when them two did get into the box, they crossed it in, but the cross was always too much or not finding the right person. And that summed up our first half. We had all that possession. We had all them opportunities to create chances, and we would get past our man and we would get to the byline. But the final delivery was just poor each time, and Haaland wasn't even in that game in the first half. We gave him no service whatsoever. And again, it's partly because United defended quite well, I thought. Like I said, they sat narrow. We're happy for us to get out wide and just stop anything coming into the box because they knew really Haaland was the only real threat. And they did that. But what I will say is time and time again, and I've said it year after year with Pep's team, is when you push up to the halfway line, teams like United, because they were sitting back, all they were doing, waiting to win the ball back, hit it straight up into the midfield, into Fernandes, who would then pass it out wide or beyond our back foot. And we had no answer to it in that first half. We were so lucky. There were moments Rashford should have scored. I thought that Diallo should have had a shot instead of trying to pass it to Mount when they cut us open. Because they did. They cut us open a couple of times in that first half. It was a little bit concerning because our defence were not handling that well at all. I thought Guardiola had a pretty poor game defensively. Diaz and Akanji, they just about did enough in that first half to keep the ball out of the net. And Lewis as well, going forward, he's fantastic. But defensively, I don't think he's got quite the defensive position and intelligence, to be honest with you. And of course, he's not a big player either. And against Rashford, I think he's just been done time and time again. In the second half, I thought we pressed a little more at the beginning, but then United took control again. They settled much more quickly in that second half, and we looked tired. And I'm not surprised because, again, it was a chance for us to put minutes on the board. United playing pretty much their first team. We had a number of first teamers out, and we were just trying to get minutes on the board. And we did look tired in that second half, and Pep needed to make changes, I thought, much quicker. United scored, good goal by Garnacho in the 82nd minute. You could see it coming. United were driving in the pressure. We were inviting them onto us the whole time. We couldn't get a couple of passes together, couldn't string anything together. They got the goal for Garnacho. We somehow got back into it. I was ready to turn it off, whatever. I wasn't even that interested. I wasn't even watching when we got that cross into Bernardo, but it was a good cross. Bob, nice turn from him. Gets away from his man for a nice little touch. Gets to the byline. Gets his cross right this time. Bernardo stepping in front of the defender. Something that Haaland doesn't do enough for me. Haaland waits for the ball to go up. He likes the hanging cross so he can jump above the defender. Get across them. That's what Bernardo did. Wonderful header. 1-1. Takes it to penalties. And, of course, we win on penalties after Bernardo had another shocking penalty, to be honest with you. All of their penalties were power and pace. As the one that we missed, Bernardo says it all, really. But I thought Edison pulled off a phenomenal save against Sancho, to be fair to him. And there was Evans that missed the last one, and the Kanji scored for us. Couple of things, though. Savinho, his debut, I thought he did all right. He looked good. He looked quick. He looked sharp. I thought he looked the sharpest on the pitch from any of our players, to be fair to him. But what I will say is that he did try too much. Maybe he was trying too hard. Took his penalty really well, but when he was on the ball in the end of that second half, I thought he was holding on too much. There was a point where he tackled Guardiola, and he was like, what is going on here? Why is he tackling me? But he was trying too hard to impress. Well, that come down, I think that Pepper drew that out of him, because I don't think he'll be starting against Chelsea. I don't think he'll be getting many minutes in the first couple of weeks of the season. And then another thing is Pep substitutions really late on. What's the point in bringing Kev and Ake on? I was calling for them to come on after the hour mark, but bringing them on in the 91st minute, what is the point for 4 minutes of football? Yes, Kev took a penalty, and yes, he touched the ball like 3 times before the match ended. But my God, if you want a player to be ready for that Chelsea game, you have to bring him on sooner than the 91st minute. So I thought that was poor. Couple of standout performances. I thought Kovacic did really well. Yes, his passing, like most of the team in that second half, was a little bit off. But I thought Kovacic was really the engine room for us in that midfield. And I thought he was getting up and down the pitch really, really well. And a couple of those breakaways that we had, a couple of the counter-attacks here, even though they came to nothing, they were caused from him winning the ball and driving through the middle. So good from him. Bob, again, I thought we could have seen more from him. He played really well. I thought he was a standout performer in the friendlies, but I think he needs to do more and get to the byline a lot more than what he did today, especially against Martinez, who ain't going to keep up with him. And I don't get the Martinez rating because I don't think he's good at all. And the way United fans going about and be the best defender in the league is phenomenal to me. It shows how deluded they are. But he's awful. I love that. United fan crying in the crowd. Love that. Community Shield and you're crying. Love that. And then you look at it. Doku, I'd expect a bigger second season from him this year. Because I thought he did well last year, but I think he could do more. And this second season, we'll see how well he does. And if we can keep Jack out of the team, which I don't think he will. I think Pep's going to revert back to Jack when he's fit. Who else? O'Reilly. I was really impressed by O'Reilly, I've got to be said. Yes, again, I think his passing and his final decision making could be more. But I think for the youngster that he is coming into the team for his debut against United there, I thought he played really well. He's got some quick feet. He's tall. He's strong. And he looks like he's not scared to get in the box as well, which is what I really like. So he's one to impress for the future. Maxi getting that game time as well, important for him. I think he's a good player. He's solid in Maxi. I really like him. I think if we can hang on to him for another year, don't put him out on loan, keep him with Pep for a year. When Kev leaves at the end of this season, I think him and Foden might be absolute stars for us in the midfield. That's it, really. Same old City, really. Struggled against counter-attack. Looked a bit sluggish. Not quite ready for the Chelsea game. Haaland not in the game enough. Not enough service to him. Yeah, same old. But we came through and we won. And like I said, I think this is the first time we've won it since 2019, which is phenomenal. But we keep winning the league after it, so I'm not really that bothered. And yeah, even though I'm not too fussed about winning the Community Shield, because realistically it means nothing, it does shut the United fans up, because Goldbridge and that would have been insufferable going on about how great they are. But I will say, just to end on, I think we were lucky to get to pens, because they carved us open a good number of times in that first half, and in the second half they should have taken a couple of chances as well. Don't forget Rashford hitting the post too. So yeah, overall, good day, good win. Take it, win on penalties. Rare that we do that. Thank you very much for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe. Bye-bye.